Welcome back, friends. This time around I'm going to do a list with some of the greatest rose fragrances that I ever had the pleasure to own and also to use throughout my life. Therefore, if you love rose in your fragrances, this is definitely a list that you should check out. Let's not waste any time and start with the first fragrance. And the first fragrance is a very interesting, very artistic composition, and it's a very beautiful fragrance. From the house of État Libre d'Orange comes I Am Trash, and this is a fragrance that's made out of garbage. Yes, you heard that right. It's made out of rotten red apples and also out of rotten roses. So you throw them to the garbage. État Libre d'Orange comes, takes this garbage, goes to Firmenich or Givaudan, I don't know which one of the companies, takes out the essential oil that's reminiscent in that garbage and makes this fragrance. And it smells simply gorgeous. This is a very good summer fragrance. This is a very good fragrance to wear throughout the year, but I do find it especially great in summertime when it's very hot outside, because this fragrance is very refreshing, it's very cooling. And both the roses and the red apples inside this composition are in the same quantity. Therefore, it isn't one above the other. In terms of performance, this is a very good performing fragrance, at least on my skin. I get very good longevity, very good projection, and very good sillage. Unisex all the way, so I don't have any problem in recommending this to males or females at the same time. Very good for enclosed spaces, if you want, for office environments and whatnot. But as I said, very beautiful and very refreshing. The second one comes from the house of Histoire de Parfum, and it's called This Is Not a Blue Bottle 1.3. And this is also a very beautiful, very interesting fragrance, mainly because you have a very beautiful blood orange note inside the composition. Combined with the rose, you also get some leathery facets, and you also get some aldehydes inside this composition. Therefore, this is also very fresh, very uplifting, very invigorating, and at the same time, it's very versatile, very flexible. You can wear it also throughout the year. But again, just like I Am Trash from Eldo, this appeals to me a bit more in summertime. Mainly because of that metallic, cold feeling coming from the aldehydes found inside the composition. And it's truly, truly great. Really good performance also, longevity, projection, sillage-wise. Again, a unisex fragrance, but due to its nature and due to the fact that it features some leather inside, I do find it leaning a bit more to the masculine side. Very beautiful composition from the house of Histoire de Parfum. This is Not a Blue Bottle 1.3. Now let's go to something a bit more formal. And from the house of Elegance comes the uncompromising Sohan. This is an astonishing fragrance, if you ask me. It simply defines elegance. It's very formal, best suited for special events, for special occasions. This is a very, very gorgeous, sensual rose. Therefore, this is a fragrance that you need to wear dressed up. You need to be a bit more careful at the occasion. And again, a unisex fragrance, but leaning towards the masculine side of things. Mainly because there is something in this composition, something that features a smoky, leathery vibe in the background. And that's why this leans a bit more to the masculine side of things. Very good performance also. Very good projection, longevity, and sillage. Not very versatile, if you ask me, due to its nature. But this is a very beautiful fragrance if you want to garner compliments and if you want to attract, let's say, questions and make heads turn. Very, very delicious. Sohan. And let's go to something very outrageous, very unique at the same time, I would say, very artistic. And this is a fragrance that's not best suited for everyone. Not even for those of you who truly love roses in fragrances. This is from the house of Panouche Paris, Rose Agate. Dear Lord, this is fabulous. This is atrocious if you are not prepared to smell something like this, because this is a very green, woody, somewhat spicy mineral rose. And it's extremely powerful, it's extremely pungent, it's very intrusive with your senses. And if you're not careful how much you apply and where you apply, you are going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. So be warned about Rose Agate from Panouche Paris. This is a fragrance that works throughout the year. but due to its cold nature, due to its refreshing nature and aromatic nature, I do think that this is going to work a lot better in warmer or even hot weather. It's considered to be a unisex fragrance, but honestly, I see this one leaning very much to the masculine side of things due to its aromatic, green, woody, mineral vibe. So be very careful. Performance-wise, this is a monster. Amouage and its Rose Agate. Next one up, one of my favorites, comes from the house of GaVo Perfumery. And this is a very beautiful, delicious rose. It's called Malikas Temptation. Malikas Temptation is a very sensual, very seductive, very romantic, I would dare to say, type of fragrance. It has a very soothing, very comforting feeling. But besides the beautiful rose note inside, you also get praline and also get a very, very beautiful amber note. So in this one, the rose isn't the only main accord. It's combined with the praline and also with the amber. And the result is simply outstanding. Therefore, the performance is also fabulous with Malikas Temptation. If you love wearing ambery fragrances, you're gonna definitely love Malikas Temptation. If you love roses, but a bit more different than the regular ones found on the market, again, you're gonna love Malikas Temptation. Very good performance, attracts a lot of compliments. You can wear it throughout the year, but you need to be very careful on how much quantity you apply. And I would actually see this one being best worn at semi-formal and formal events. Unisex, but well, that depends on you. How you want to wear it, when you want to wear it, and if you're a male or a female. It works absolutely excellent on both genres. Next one up comes from the house of Alexandre J, and this is from the collector lineup. And it's called Silver Ombre. Man, this is so good. Besides the rose note inside, you also get a very beautiful creamy sandalwood note and also a very interesting fruity note, the note of pear. But the main accord here is made out of that beautiful carnal voluptuous rose combined with the sandalwood. This is a very oriental fragrance, but without it being very oriental or overly oriental for that matter. It still manages to be acceptable for those of you who are not very experienced, who are only beginning to discover niche fragrances. But this is very elegant, it's very voluptuous, very sensual, very seductive, very comforting at the same time. And it does provide a vibe of opulence for that matter. Very good performance with this one also. Basically, all the fragrances in this list are fragrances that perform truly amazing. So, Silver Ombre from Alexandre J, if you love dark roses. Next fragrance up is basically a classic in the genre, and it's called Laffey Berlin from Serge Lutens. You cannot talk about rose fragrances without including Laffey Berlin. This is so elegant, this is so beautiful, so classy if you want, so passionate at the same time, because the interpretation of the rose found inside Laffey Berlin brings to mind the notion of passion, almost erotic. But, as I said, this is a very classy, very elegant fragrance, a unisex fragrance. It performs really great on my skin. I usually get about 10 hours of longevity. It isn't the best performer from Serge Lutens, but it definitely does not disappoint when it comes to performance. Another fragrance which I would rather recommend for formal events, but when you need to be, let's say, a bit more intimate. Serge Lutens Laffey Berlin. Next one up is a freshie, a very beautiful one for that matter. Comes from an Italian house and is called Shantung from Etro. And here we have a very beautiful, effervescent, uplifting fragrance because we get rose, but you also get peony, you also get lychee, you also get incense, and you also get vetiver in the composition of Shantung. Therefore, this basically smells like rose water, if you want. But very relaxing, very soothing, very clean, very fresh, and as I said, very uplifting. Therefore, this is a fragrance that I usually wear throughout summertime because to me, in my mind, that's when it's best suited for wearing, especially in hot weather. I did wear it throughout the year, I did wear it in different seasons, in different scenarios, but I always tend to forget about it and to only take it out when summer arrives. I don't know why, it's something subconscious, so it is what it is. Performance-wise, it isn't the greatest fragrance out there. I usually get about 8 hours of longevity on my skin with, at best, moderate projection and moderate sillage. But for very hot weather, this is simply great, especially if you had for a long days waiting for you outside in the sun doing errands and whatnot, and you need to feel fresh. Shantung from the house of Etro. Next one up comes in the form of a discontinued gem. Unfortunately, I don't know why they do not want to release it under the new branding, and the branding is GaVo. But from Sospiro comes Dueto. Another fantastic fragrance from Sergio Momo. Another incredible formal type of fragrance. Very opulent, very majestic for that matter. It's extremely qualitative and it's extremely beautiful. The rose inside this one combines with cloves, combines with sandalwood again, and it's one of the best sandalwoods that I ever smelled. And the effect is very creamy and it manages to embrace you all together in a huge bubble scent. Therefore, be very careful how much you apply with Dueto because it's a very powerful scent, and furthermore, it tends to project quite a lot. At least this is what happens on my skin every single time that I wear this fragrance, and it's a very intoxicating one with you, the wearer, but also with those around you. This is a magnet for compliments. This is a fragrance that turns heads. It's a fragrance that garners compliments like no other. And this is why I only usually wear it at formal occasions, formal events when I'm dressed up. Dueto from the house of Sospiro. Performance-wise, this is nuclear stuff. So beware. Next one up comes in the form of a perfume oil. And it's truly, truly gorgeous. I simply love it. This will be probably one of my favorite fragrances this summer, mainly because I wore it in winter time and I enjoyed it a lot, although it was not the season that I should have worn it. From Atkinsons comes 24 Old Bond Street Triple Extract Mystic Essence Oil. Bloody hell, what a name. This is gorgeous. This proposes a combination between rose and whiskey combined with juniper at the same time and cardamom, and it's simply fantastic. The end result is not what we expect. The end result is basically rose, because that's the dominant accord, that's the dominant note inside this fragrance, and it's a very refreshing one, it's a very soothing one, and very elegant at the same time. Being a perfume oil, this does not tend to project like a regular eau de parfum or extrait de parfum for that matter, but you will be surprised. The longevity on this one is simply amazing. The scent trail is also great, and even the projection is really, really great. It just needs a bit of heat to activate, but when it starts, it's a delightful scent and it's a delightful experience. Very refreshing, very clean, very elegant. It does possess a very interesting facet, meaning that you somewhat get the idea that this is a very fragile type of fragrance, but in reality it really isn't. It doesn't lack the strength to stay on your skin and to perform really great. Incredibly versatile, incredibly beautiful, and also this, as I said, will be one of my favorite fragrances throughout this summer period this year. Gorgeous. 24 Old Bond Street Triple Extract Mystic Essence Oil. Next one up comes from the house of Bois de Victorious, and this is a classic interpretation, a very classic oriental fragrance, because you get rose and agarwood, but very strong, very powerful stuff, incredible stuff, in the form of Regal. Nothing unique about this fragrance, if you want, besides the quality of the ingredients and the performance, the, let's say, intensity would be the best word to describe, because this is a very intense fragrance, especially in the opening. Just like any other fragrance from this house, Bois de Victorious, This one also makes a bold and huge statement in the opening, and the Regal is no exception. Although it's not unique, it's not very artistic and whatnot, I cannot complain because it's simply beautiful. If you love oriental fragrances, if you love agarwood, if you love dark roses, again, and you love the combination between these two ingredients, then you won't have any problem with Regal from Bois de Château Victorious. Performance-wise, really great. Again, best suited for formal occasions, formal events, for when you need to make an impact in your surroundings. But it's a unisex fragrance, at least this is how it's marketed, although to me is leaning more to the masculine side of things. Truly Regal though, due to the smell and the quality of the composition. Highly recommended, and I simply love the bottles. Next one up, again, a freshie, again a fresh rose. Best suited throughout the year, but definitely can wear this one without any hiccups, especially in warmer weather. From the house of Lalique, Rose Royale. Nothing complex, nothing spectacular in terms of creativity, in terms of uniqueness. This is a very clean, very bold, very beautiful, very happy, very joyous rose, if you want. Very uplifting, very bright, and extremely fresh. Performance-wise, very good, no matter we talk about longevity, projection, or sillage. Unisex all the way, so depends on you if you want to wear it or not. Let's go to the house of Amouage, which basically has the most entries in this list. I'm gonna start with the first one, the most well-known, if you want. Of course, Lyric Man. Lyric Man, considered by many to be the best rose fragrance for men. Unfortunately, I do not share this impression and this conviction. I have other fragrances that I prefer a lot more than Lyric Man. But Lyric Man is a great fragrance. You cannot deny this. It is simply outstanding. It's a fresh interpretation, again, because you have some very interesting citrusy notes in the beginning of this fragrance that combine with the rose. And the rose is a bit, let's say, on the woody side of things. It makes me think about palisander, for example, or Brazilian rosewood, however you want to call it. Very fresh, very bright, very elegant, uplifting, very gentlemanly, and with a very good performance. This isn't a dark fragrance. This isn't a gothic fragrance. This, I don't know, I've seen a lot of people saying that when they smell this fragrance, they think about a black coffin with red lining and whatnot. No, 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 no. This is a very beautiful, bright and fresh, manly rose fragrance. Highly recommended. Actually, if you are a man, you need to own this one in your collection. But here comes the next one. And the next one, well, this is atrocious for 99% of the people out there. Oh yeah, Amouage Opus 10. Yep, the industrial rose, as I call it. Why industrial? Well, it's very simple, because this features one of the craziest interpretations of rose in perfumery, and a very peculiar, very weird ingredient called varnish. And you heard that right. It's that varnish. And it's simply outstanding. The level of intensity of this fragrance is simply absurd. The rose inside this composition comes out very metallic, very woody, very green, very earthy, very aromatic and fresh at the same time. And the metallic accord or feeling is coming from the varnish note, which is very strong, which is very powerful, but oddly enough, very enjoyable for me, because I truly enjoy this fragrance. I don't wear it every single day. I don't wear it actually very often, but it is something that I enjoy for myself. And I find myself wearing it when I'm alone at home. You need to be very careful how much you apply, and especially do your best to avoid the nose area. Keep the distance from the nose. This is very strong. This is very pungent. This is headache inducing. This is repulsive, as I said, for 99% of the people out there. If you are inexperienced, if you lack the experience with this type of interpretations, with artistic perfumes, with unique perfumes, you need to keep your distance, your safety distance from Amouage Opus 10. Extraordinary when it comes to longevity, to projection and sillage at the same time. But it is something out of this world. And the last one from the house of Amouage, of course, Rose Incense. You cannot make a list and talk about rose fragrances without having Rose Incense, which is one of the best roses out there, which is something that I truly prefer, that I truly like, mainly because it features incense, but also because it features two different rose types. You have May Rose, and you also get, if I'm not mistaken, Rose Centifolia or something like this inside the composition, combined with the very beautiful Omani incense that Amouage uses in their fragrances. You also have other ingredients, but these are the two main notes inside the composition. And this is how it smells on me every single time that I wear it. It smells like roses, dark roses, with a lot of incense. Beautiful incense, calming incense, meditative incense, and this brings a very beautiful, comforting feeling to the table. Very good longevity, very good projection, very good sillage. This is an outstanding fragrance if you love these two ingredients, and also it could be worn by both males and females, as it is a unisex fragrance, but I see no problem in being worn by the two genres. Amazing composition from the house of Amouage. And we are finally at the end of this list, and I've kept for last basically my favorite rose fragrances. Attar al-Has, My Magic. This is one incredible looking bottle, first and foremost. Incredible niche house, an incredible perfume. Attar al-Has, My Magic, has a very beautiful rose note inside. It also features two types of roses. You have Damascus rose, and you also have May rose, or Rose de Mai, however you want to call it. And you also get sugar inside the composition. You also get osmanthus, you also get vanilla. Therefore, this is a very, let's say, gourmand rose, but very elegant, very opulent. This is the word to describe best My Magic from Attar al-Has. This is opulent. This is royal, if you want. It's so beautiful, so seductive, so voluptuous, and it's simply gorgeous, to put it simple. What an amazing fragrance, what an amazing experience. The performance is simply outstanding. No matter we talk about longevity, projection or sillage, everything is on top. Such a beautiful, seductive, almost promiscuous type of fragrance. Almost erotic, very romantic, very comfortable, very elegant. This is a fragrance best suited for formal events, for special occasions in your life. This is not a fragrance that you should wear every single day. This is not a fragrance that you should wear on every occasion. This should be reserved only for the most important events in your life. This is how good it is. Attar al-Has, My Magic. Unisex, again, could be worn by males and females also, although an important keynote here, somehow females consider this fragrance to be too sweet for their liking. And I find this one to be very curious. Love the roses, love that, let's say, caramelized rose found inside My Magic. And the last one, and my favorite fragrance that contains rose, is this beauty from an Italian niche house called Boys 1920, and this is called Relativamente Rosso. I love this fragrance. I truly love it. This was love at first sniff. I'm a big fan of Boys 1920. I own 8 fragrances from their lineup, and they are all amazing. I will review them sometime on my channel. But Relativamente Rosso is something outstanding. Again, it features Rose de Mai, or May Rose, which is my favorite type of rose, if you're wondering, but combined again with incense, combined with woody notes, combined with some other floral notes in the composition, such as carnation, and the result is simply beautiful. This is my favorite rose fragrance from my entire collection and that I ever sniffed and worn throughout my life. It's that beautiful for me. So much so that this is a fragrance that I only wear on special occasions, on special events in my life. That's how much I respect this fragrance, and I do respect it because it always makes me feel really good wearing it. And that's the most important thing when we talk about fragrances, the way they make you feel. And this to me is simply something else compared to all the other fragrances that I featured in this video, because it's the only one that manages to make me feel that way. Very elegant, very, very voluptuous, very beautiful, a bit smoky, a bit woody, a bit sensual, a bit mature. It is truly something else. That's why, to me, it's my best and favorite, all-time favorite rose fragrance. Therefore, if you do not know it, I highly encourage you and I highly recommend you to discover it. Don't go ahead and buy blindly. Don't go ahead and purchase a full bottle. But if you manage to buy a decant or a sample and try it out on your skin, you're gonna understand why I consider this one to be such a great rose fragrance. Performance-wise, this is also very, very good. I mean, nuclear stuff on my skin, and not only on my skin, but also on fiber. Unisex, but to me, it leans a bit more to the masculine side of things, so it depends on your skin and on what notes from the composition react to your skin's chemistry, and so on and so forth. But as always, do try it out. This pretty much brings us to the end of this video. This is my list. It was a long list, and it was actually the first list I made after a long, long time of being absent from my international audience. But I'm back. I'm starting to do videos again in English. I'm starting to provide you with content to bring to you a lot of reviews and also a lot of lists in the coming month and so on, because it was time for me to get back to business and to get back to what I truly enjoy and what I really love to do when it comes to my activity on this channel. Therefore, as always, I highly recommend you to try out these fragrances. Go ahead and purchase samples, test them on your own skin, see how they perform, see if you like them. Make your own conclusions, make your own opinions, and only afterwards decide if you want to purchase or not the full bottle. The decision is yours. Therefore, the only thing that I can do is to tell you about my personal experience with this type of products. What applies to me may not apply to you. That's why it's very important for you to test fragrances and only afterwards to purchase them, but only based on your own opinions. Therefore, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to thank you for watching, for your attention, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. As always, my friends, be safe, be good, peace.